start with the game World of Warcraft.
I can't attack that target. I cannot attack that.
So we're doing about 37 frames per second, 36.7 frames per second. And currently I believe it's set to graphics 3. We're gonna go up a little bit to graphics 6 and see how well it performs during just regular moving. We're doing 11 frames per second. Oh boy, 10 frames per second. This is not good. Not good at all. We are gonna have to drop this a little bit further. Let's go back to 4. Furthermore, I'm gonna see what else I can turn off. Shadow is fair. I'm gonna put it to low. Liquid details low. That should be plenty. And we're doing 26 frames per second. I haven't done anything yet. Didn't try the quest. Didn't try to raid. Definitely didn't try to do any PvP. We're gonna need better numbers than that, unfortunately. And the resolution is 2880. So we're gonna actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it to 1440. And I'm gonna go full screen. Let's actually, and even then at this resolution I'm getting 35 frames per second, and that's an ugly resolution. Let us see how we can at least make it look nicer. Yeah, that's not good. Let's try 20 by 48, and as you can see it's struggling at 15 frames per second. Alright, so let's move this even further down. Let's go back to 3, to recommended setting, resolution scale. Let's try it 100%. No, didn't do any difference. Let's go 1479. I'm still getting a shitty frames per second of 22 frames per second, which is not wonderful. Nope. Anyways, let's continue our test. We're gonna try and queue for PvP. I think there's no point trying to even raid. I don't think there's any point of doing anything, but let's go ahead and try. 23 frames per second, doing absolutely nothing, just not even moving. Let's see what I can do. Let's go with the lowest possible thing. Okay, I don't know how that's even possible. 27 frames per second with just lowest possible setting. I don't think you want to play with any lower resolution than that either. Holy crap. Okay, that's gonna look ugly. Well, at least we're getting 41 frames per second. Not that you ever want to play like that. Look at these pixels. These are great pixels. Look at that. Wow, that's fantastic. Well, clearly nobody wants to play it this way. Oh my god. Low. Low. Disabled. Low. Disabled, disabled, disabled. Let's move the resolution scale a little bit better. 56%. And we're getting 35 frames per second. Oh god. I haven't even tried any real games yet. Let's see what it says if I do recommend it. I think it's about to commit suicide. I think it just committed Harry Carey. Well, after the whole laptop decided to crash and reboot, let's try again. Ooh, PvP.
I need to target something first.
40 frames per second. That's nice. That's very nice indeed. 31 frames per second. And again, I'm rocking fantastic settings here. This is the recommended setting that it gave me. As you can see, it's giving me 40% on 2880, recommended 3. You know what? Let's go lower than the recommended a little bit just to see if that's even doable. Yeah, a few settings we can play with. 23 frames per second. We haven't even gotten to any action yet. Oh, that's gonna be rich. $22, $21, $20, $19. Yeah. You're doing 36 frames per second, 37 frames per second. I didn't even do any action yet. Okay,
All
let's go
right.
back. 31 frames per second. It's gonna drop back to 20 when there's real action. But let's go ahead and try again. $28, 27 frames per second, 25, 26 frames per second, 26 frames per second, with a little bit of action. Alright. I don't think we can drop this even further than that. That's as low as we can go. I mean, we can try even setting 2, but you're not going to really gain any more frames per second at this point. I mean, it's playable, but just a horrible experience, and that's the best you can do. And this is not a very heavy 3D game either. Graphics setting 1. 17 frames per second. That's not even possible. It's getting worse. 26 frames per second. 27. Okay, that's as much juice you're gonna pull out of it. So ideally you don't want to do any PvP. You don't want to do anything of that sort over here. It's just not gonna be a pleasant experience for anyone. And that's World of Warcraft, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try another game.